So, last question. So, you have one choice to start a team around, and it's Kobe, Shaq, or Michael Jordan. Who's your first pick?
Michael Jordan has got to be the first pick. He was extremely coachable.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly, truly fantastic day today. So, you saw the clip I played at the beginning of the video. That was former coach Phil Jackson, and he was asked if he had to start a team, who would he choose? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or Shaquille O'Neal? And he said Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan was extremely coachable. And I don't think that the fact that Michael Jordan is the GOAT and that he's extremely coachable, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think those things go hand in hand. I think the greatest success comes from people who are coachable. Number one, because those people also make the greatest leaders. And I think oftentimes when people reach a certain level of success, a lot of people, not all people, but a lot of people tend to forget the people along the way that helped them. Most people want to believe that, hey, I gained all this due to my hard work and it was only me and I'm the reason that I'm as successful as I am. And yes, you had to do the work to be able to do the job, but no one becomes successful, almost no one, without the help of others, whether it's advice or opportunities or whatnot. So the fact that Michael Jordan was extremely coachable, to me, is indeed another thing, yet another reason why he became the GOAT, why he is the GOAT. During this same podcast, and this is coming from the JT Foxx podcast. During the same podcast, Phil Jackson talked about his trouble early on coaching Kobe Bryant. He says Kobe Bryant was difficult to coach. And part of this I attribute, part of it is just who people are, and how they were brought up. And, Michael Jordan's upbringing taught him to be coachable. He was coachable by his parents. He took the advice of his parents. And because he was coachable early on, because of whatever values his parents instilled in him about being coachable, about being able to take direction, this carried on through Michael Jordan and his entire career. But again, this is something Kobe Bryant had to learn. Now, part of this, I believe, may be the simple fact that Kobe Bryant came right out of high school and didn't go to college. I believe there are certain things you learn playing college ball that if you skip it, you really miss an important step, no matter how much talent you may have. And one of those things, I believe, the college game humbles you. Now, I'm not sure. I hadn't kept up with college ball in quite some time, but at least back in the day, college ball humbled you because the players had no control in college. Nowadays, I know that players can make money in college and all this, so I'm sure it's probably changing just like it's changing for the NBA. The world as a whole is becoming more entitled. But back in the day, college ball would humble you. Like, you would have to do what you were asked, or, you might not play. You might get benched, So Michael Jordan, like I said, being coachable at an early age, then going to college and playing for Dean Smith, he learned some things. I can't remember the guy's name, but I believe he was one of the assistant coaches at North Carolina who said when Michael Jordan first got there, he was talking about he's going to be the best. And the coach said, hey, well, you got to work hard. And Michael Jordan said, hey, I work just as hard as everybody else. And the coach was like, oh, I thought you said you wanted to be the best. And so from that moment on, he said, Michael Jordan said, you'll see, no one will ever outwork me. And so again, to me, this is an example of Michael Jordan being coachable. This is an example of him hearing the information and taking it to heart, hearing the information that, oh, it's not good enough just to work as hard as everyone else. I need to outwork everyone. And he did that from that moment on. How he took criticism. There's a story that Bobby Knight told about Michael Jordan on the Olympic team. And, a lot of you have probably heard this story. I'm just kind of summarize it quickly. But basically, Michael Jordan was already playing great, but Coach Knight said he likes to at halftime, he likes to give the players some criticism anyway, just so they don't take their foot off the gas. So he was like, I had to come at Michael Jordan because he's the star of the team. He was like, he really did nothing wrong, but I had to find a way to, say something to him so that the rest of the team understands that, hey, if I'm saying something to Michael Jordan, then we better be on it if he's saying something to Michael Jordan. And so he said something to Michael Jordan about not setting enough screens. And Michael Jordan, took it with a smile, I think made a joke about it, but he didn't get offended. He didn't get defensive about it. And so Michael Jordan took criticism well. And these are part of the things that made Michael Jordan great. Coach Bobby Knight said that Michael Jordan is one of the smartest players he's ever seen. Jerry West said the same thing, that Michael Jordan is such a smart player. And I agree. To me, when I think about, as much as people love to compare Michael Jordan and Kobe definitely is the closest thing to Michael Jordan, just as far as aesthetically from a game and skill set and killer will and work ethic and all of those things. But, to me, there's some definitive difference. And to me, Michael Jordan was the smarter basketball player on both ends of the court, on offense and defense. To me, a lot of reasons Kobe had to work harder is because he wasn't as smart of a basketball player. A lot of the reason that Kobe had to have so many counter moves is because he just wasn't as smart of a player. And obviously the physical gifts had something to do with that too. Michael Jordan was more athletic, faster, could jump higher and whatnot. But part of that is just Michael Jordan was just a smarter player on the court. And so, yeah, and to me, part of that Michael Jordan's super high IQ in terms of basketball, the IQ that LeBron James wishes he had, is the fact that he was so coachable. So he was able to take all this information from so many different sources. He was able to take all this information from so many different coaches. Again, I go back to I believe the first episode of The Last Dance, and I can't remember at what point during the episode, but it showed them in the locker room about to play their first game of the season, and Phil Jackson is giving a speech basically saying, hey, this is the last night that we're celebrating the championship from last year, so I want you to enjoy it. But he was like, but the most important thing is that we start off this season with a win. Basically saying, don't get caught up in the celebration of last year's championship. Like, this is a new season. The most important thing is that we get this started off with a win. And when he said that, first of all, when they zoomed into Michael Jordan is fully engaged in what Phil Jackson is saying. This is already 5-time champion Michael Jordan, several scoring titles, several defensive selections of the year. People already seeing him as the greatest player to ever play the game. Michael Jordan is fully engaged in what Phil Jackson is saying. And, and he kind of gave a little fist pump like, yeah, it's about getting this first win of the season. It's about starting off with a win this season and not getting carried caught up in the celebrations, like the Duck likes to do, is celebrate every single little thing. He likes to celebrate anything he does on the court, whether it's a dunk, or a 3-point shot, or, celebrating a ridiculous in-season tournament. These players today, they're just all about celebrating every little thing and not keeping their eyes on something bigger than what's immediately in front of them. So yeah, Michael Jordan, him being coachable is absolutely part of why he was such a smart basketball player. Why he had so many, LeBron James can't play off the ball. Why is that? Because he's never accepted coaching and felt that was something he should be able to do successfully and efficiently and proficiently. He never accepted the coaching to say, LeBron James, okay, that we need to put you in a different role to be most effective for the team as a whole. He never accepted this, but Michael Jordan did. Michael Jordan played point guard for a short time. I forgot what season it was. Was it 86 season or something like that? 86, 87 season. But Michael Jordan played point guard for a short time. First of all, if Michael Jordan was LeBron James, he wouldn't have took that job, because he'd been like, hey, I'm a 2 guard. I don't play point guard. I want to shoot the ball. But he averaged a triple-double as a point guard. But Michael Jordan was flexible and willing to do whatever it took that he thought may contribute to win. So when Phil Jackson came in and said, hey, we're going to have to take the ball out your hand. You're going to have to score a few less points. Michael Jordan didn't like it, but he accepted it because he was willing to try anything that could potentially lead to wins. And through that, he discovered, something else to add to his arsenal. Becoming a phenomenal off-ball player. And of course, he could still play the way he always played when it came down to the wire. If it came down to them needing a bucket, Michael Jordan could go right back into his bag of one-on-one and having the ball in his hand. But he also didn't have to have the ball in his hand. So, again, Michael Jordan being coachable. Fanboys, be coachable in your life. We're trying to help you here. We're trying to let you see the flaws in your ridiculous king. Your king is not coachable, which is why he is 4-6 in the finals. Your king is not coachable, which is why most people don't see him as the GOAT. Your king is not coachable, which is why he has to make a million excuses for his losses. Your king is not coachable, which is why he can't play off the ball. Your king is not coachable, which is why he can only play in the system. Your king is not coachable, which is why players have to get traded and coaches have to get fired. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. What did you think of what Phil Jackson had to say about who he would choose to start his team with and why? Do you agree that it is number one, on top of being coachable, obviously Michael Jordan has everything else as well. But do you agree with the reasoning behind choosing Michael over those players? That Michael Jordan is extremely coachable. This is what Phil Jackson said. This is what Phil Jackson said, who coached both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And that was a pretty good interview if you guys want to check it out. It was like 12 minutes and 41 seconds. It's a pretty short interview, but it's on the JT Foxx channel. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly, truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.